so let's say you're trying to do a regression problem. For instance, we've got this problem here about BMI, the height and weight correlation of some people. And what you're trying to do is finding an equation to model this data. So I'm going to be showing you how to do that in the calculator. So this is going to be our X column, and this is going to be our Y column. So I'm going to set this to the side, but these are the numbers I'm going to be entering. So on your Nspire, you want to first be at your home page, and you want to start a new document. Okay, and if it asks you to save the previous one, just hit no. What we want is a list and spreadsheet page. So choose option 4. And you should get a blank spreadsheet like this. So go up to the cell that says A, and I'm going to call that height. And in the cell next to that where it says B, I want weight. Okay, so after you've typed in your headings, then you want to skip that gray row. We're not going to be using the gray row at all right now. You want to use these white cells here for your data. So I'm going to be entering, again, here's my data. I'm entering these numbers, height and weight. So I'm going to enter them, and then I will be right back. Okay, welcome back. I've got my data entered. And now I'm going to show you how to make the calculator give you a scatter plot and a regression line. So you need to press Control, which on your calculator is going to be a yellow button, and then Document. And that plus page above there is what we're aiming for. So Control Document. And we want a Data and Statistics page, so number 5. Okay, and all you're going to see right now are a bunch of dots all over the place with the numbers next to them. They might not be exactly the same as mine, but they don't seem to be in any kind of order. So you'll also see click to add variable along the X and Y axis. So press Tab, and that's going to let you choose a variable to put here. So I want height. Height is my X value, my independent variable in this case. So choose height, and then you'll see that the dots kind of align to where their X value was along a number line. And then we need a Y variable as well. So press Tab again and choose weight. And you get your scatter plot. All right, so now let's say we want an equation to model this data. So first you have to decide what kind of equation is this. Could it be linear? Could it be exponential, quadratic? You've got to decide what fits the best. In this case, I'm thinking it just looks linear. It's fairly straight. There's a little bit of crookedness, but I think linear is probably going to fit pretty well. So I want to go to Menu, and then I want to go down to Analyze, and press the right arrow to open that menu, and then go down to Regression. And I've got 2 linear options. One is your standard mx plus b, and the other one is a plus bx. I'm just going to use the standard mx plus b with slope and y-intercept. So choose that, and it gives you your regression line. Okay, now what this gives you is just your basic regression equation. Let's say you need correlation coefficient, or you need a little bit more detail. You want to go back to your first tab, 1.1. So press Control and then the left arrow, and I'll take you back. And move over to an empty cell. It doesn't really matter which one, as long as it's empty. And this time, I want you to press Menu, then down to Statistics, option 4, and Stat Calculations. Now you'll see linear regression there again, mx plus b, and that's what we're aiming for. So choose linear regression again, and you'll be faced with this window. It looks a little intimidating, but we're only going to change 2 things here. So for X list, we have to tell it that height is our X value. So press the right arrow to open up some choices. Choose height. Then for your Y's, choose weight. And it says save regression equation 2, and this is if you want to graph the equation, you want to see it in a graph. It'll save it to the graph for you, so you just have to open up a graph page. And in this case, on my calculator, it's going to save it to F2, and then choose OK. And then it gives you all sorts of things. So now here's my mx plus b once again. Here's my m, my slope, which you can see is the same number as before, 5.68. My y-intercept is negative 188.889, same as before. So this is the same equation, it just gives it to us in pieces. If you scroll down, you'll get your correlation coefficients and some residuals if you happen to need those. And the correlation coefficient of approximately 0.99 tells us that our fit is very good. So we found an appropriate regression equation, an appropriate model for our data.